Welcome to the Holy Mischief Podcast. Here we shine a light on the hidden gems of Cartersville and Bartow County. Helpers, creators, and everyday heroes spreading love and kindness in extraordinary ways. Think of us as Mr. Rogers for adults, sharing stories that spark hope, joy, and a little bit of holy mischief along the way. Pull up a seat, neighbor. It's time to meet the incredible people making a difference in your backyard. Hey friends, welcome back to the Holy Mischief Podcast. I am Dr. K, and today I have with me Dr. Q. Caitlin is a chiropractor here in Cartersville, Georgia. And full disclosure, she's my chiropractor. And I love her so much, I wanted to have her on the podcast to talk a little bit about Holy Mischief.
Yes.
Tell us a little about who you are, like where did you come from? How did you end up here?
Okay, so I am originally from Tampa, Florida, born and raised there. I came to Georgia to go to chiropractic school, and then I spent 4 years here at school. I then traveled to and moved to Seattle. I practiced there for 6 years, and then I came back here and have been here coming up on 3 years now.
Okay. And you got an award recently.
Yes, I was one of the recipients for the Chamber's Impact Award.
Nice.
Yes.
So I wanted to have you on because so many times you and I'll be talking and it goes beyond health and adjustments.
Yes.
It's more like, hey, what are you feeling? Are you stressed about this? Has there been past trauma in your life? And then you'll start to ask community questions like, hey, do you know so-and-so? And they do this really good work. And I'm collecting. And then like one day you hand me a huge trash bag full of bags for Backpack Buddies, which I love. You're not the only person that does that. So I just thought, there are so many things that we put in compartments.
Yes.
And faith is one, and sometimes character is even another one. And how we, like our moral code and our ethics may even be separate from faith when it shouldn't.
Yeah.
And our health and our mental wellness. But all of those are connected.
Yes.
So I would love for you to share just a little bit about kind of your philosophy around that. And maybe if you have an example of Holy Mischief, some act of kindness you've witnessed that could inspire others to do the same.
Okay. Ooh, this is big.
Yeah. What is your philosophy of life?
Okay, so where to begin?
No pressure.
Yes, so I actually did not grow up with a religious background. And so when I got to chiropractic school, I feel like that really became not my religious background, but gave me almost like a blueprint, a guide for how our bodies work, how it's intelligent, how we have this innate inborn intelligence that's within us, and that connects us to something much bigger. Which is in chiropractic what we call universal intelligence.
Okay.
But a lot of times it's referenced as God.
Right.
And so one of the quotes in one of our philosophy books in chiropractic talks about how chiropractic unites the physical man to the spiritual man. So a lot of people have this idea coming into chiropractic that it's very much a physical musculoskeletal complaint.
Right.
But when we look at the much bigger picture, we do have to take into consideration our religious beliefs, our spiritual beliefs, our physical stressors, our chemical, emotional, like all of that plays a part. So that's why I don't focus on just one thing.
Yeah.
And it's hard when people ask me the questions about like, well, why am I showing up this way? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, let's dive in. We have to look at your specific life and how those are creating things in your body.
In the United Methodist Church, our theology goes back to John Wesley, who said that there are things that you can do that most of the time bring you closer to God. They're proven, like prayer or worship or reading your Bible or being in a small group together, like all of those things. And one of the things that he says is physical wellness, living healthy
Yep.
brings you closer to God. And I will say there are times when I don't eat healthy or don't exercise, and I can tell like I'm sluggish.
Yes.
And so connecting to God is hard because all of that sluggishness weighs me down,
Yes.
literally and metaphorically.
Yep.
And being able to be my healthiest also allows me to be my most spiritual at times.
Yes.
So,
and the clearer our nervous system is within us, the I fully believe the more we can receive messages from higher power to come and flow through us. So if we're bogged down, if we're weighed down and things are muddy within the system, that's going to make it difficult for us to receive information.
Yeah.
So it goes both ways in taking care of our physical being so we can connect higher spiritually.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's very cool. So, Holy Mischief.
Yes.
What have you seen? What have you experienced in your life?
We have such a great community here.
We do. That's like a thread through every person's interview.
Yes. Yes. I mean, there are so many examples throughout all of Cartersville, and our lives in general. And just seeing how people come together and work together in multiple different ways. You mentioned backpack buddies. That is huge in our community, and that multiple different people come together to help kids, get food and nutrition on the weekends when they don't have access to that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I see it. I see it all over in my practice. I see it in our community, in my community in general, in my practice in general. I've seen things like, we had someone come in, and my practice, as you know, is open. So it's not individual rooms. It's very community style in my office. I love that because we can connect with other people.
Toys for me to play with.
Yes. Yes. Toys for you to play with. And so someone came in, her car battery had died. Yeah. And another family was in the office, and the husband went out and helped this other practice member jumpstart her car so she could get home. And just seeing that in my own practice was very moving.
Okay, I want you to tell the story because I just remembered this one.
Yes.
This is what I should have told you like a week ago. Tell this story. When you had a client who like fell and like broke a foot, and you drove to the hospital to be able to like wheel her in.
Yes. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot about that because I rescheduled you.
Yeah. You were like, can you come a little later?
Yeah.
Because like when I sign up with you, I don't expect you to show at the hospital. Yeah. Like when you said you were going to the hospital, I thought, oh, someone wants an adjustment at the hospital. No, they just needed a wheelchair push.
Yes. She came in, she had twisted her ankle, and she had gone to, she had gone to like the urgent care, and that was closed, and she didn't know where to go. And I think she, was panicking a little bit of how she could drive herself to the hospital, but she wasn't going to be able to get in.
Yeah.
She had been calling and got disconnected, so she couldn't have someone come like with the wheelchair and get her from the car. And so instead of, my thought was just like, I instead of trying to orchestrate someone else or try and get someone,
just go do it. Yeah.
The hospital is literally 5 minutes from my office.
Right.
Let me just put things on pause, get her in the car, get her in a wheelchair, roll her in, get her set up, and then come back.
Most people would have been like, go to voicemail. And you are like, I'm picking up the phone and I'm heading out my door.
Yes. So yeah, sometimes you just gotta jump into action, make it happen.
But like something like that, she'll never forget that.
Yes.
She'll never, that's amazing. And it made not only her day, I bet the people that saw you wheel her in there and heard that story from her were like, wow, that is a really good person.
Yes.
And it probably changed their mindset and their attitude for the day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we can all, do one little thing
Mm-hmm.
that sparks something bigger
Right.
or inspires someone to do the same.
Yeah.
And that's what I love.
You better be careful. Everyone's going to be so healthy. You're not going to make clients.
Yep. Oh yeah.
But
yeah.
that is the goal,
Yeah,
right?
I was going to say that's the goal, is to create a community that just exhibits health.
Health. Yeah.
Yep.
Health and wellness.
Because that's, when we are healthy, we can serve others, and we can make bigger impact in our families, in our community. And then that becomes a ripple effect.
Yeah. So is that your greatest hope for Cartersville?
Yes.
Health and wellness.
Health and wellness. Kids that are thriving.
Yeah.
Creating families that are healthy together.
Together, yeah.
Like that's my goal.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Do you have any questions for me?
Ooh,
stump the pastor.
I know. This is good.
Okay.
Where do you see our community? Where do you see you playing a role in the community here?
Ooh. So my hope is a movement of holy mischief where people it is second nature to them to go above and beyond for kindness, letting someone in front of them, taking deep breaths when they're waiting in line so that they don't do or say something that they shouldn't. When there's a crisis in the community, people show up. And I'm seeing a lot of that. That's already here.
Yes.
I am just helping individuals see that they can do it regularly every day in ordinary things. I have a friend who says there is holy in the ordinary. And I want people to see that and that it can be fun and life-giving. Faith doesn't have to be some big, heavy thing that you wear a big cross around your neck and you never say anything bad and never do anything bad. We're all in need of grace. And so practicing that grace for other people.
Yes.
That's what I want. But I do see that the community is already primed for a lot. And there's a few things that, like we've talked here at Trinity, maybe doing a community garden or doing some things that are community oriented and not just church oriented.
Yes.
And so my role is equip and inspire.
Yes.
And so that's what I see, because I'm not going to stay here forever in the United Methodist Church. I tolerate. So in a few years, I'll probably have moved on. But what will have continued after me? Because it's not about me. It's about what this church and this community can do together. So that's kind of what I see my role. Did I pass? Is that good? I like it.
I also I love you as a person and the conversations that we have had. That's what has inspired me to dig deeper and have an interest in what you do. Because we do just have these great conversations and I'm intrigued. And so that's why I wanted to come.
You do ask great questions, not just here, but like in your office, you ask really cool questions. And I'm like, oh, let me think on that.
Yes. Well, I also, you just make it comfortable to ask questions as well.
Good.
So I feel comfortable enough saying, hey, I actually don't understand this. Can you give me your perspective? Can you tie in the Bible into this situation so I can understand it better? Yeah. And that's what I love. Yeah. It's just easy. It's easy to have a conversation.
Yeah. Good. Conversations should be easy.
Yes.
Even when they're hard. Sometimes we have hard questions.
Yes.
But asking them should be easy.
Yeah.
So, all right. Do you have a challenge for people listening? Like what do you want to inspire someone to do?
I would say just going back to kindness.
Yeah.
Always having a kind heart first and doing one little thing every day that could be as simple as a smile in the grocery store.
Right.
That is going to bring light to someone who might be in a dark space, and that smile lifted them up. So just one little kindness every single day, because that can create that ripple effect.
I love it. I love it. And if you need help remembering to do that every day. Put like one of those little glass pebbles that you can get at Hobby Lobby, like put one in your left pocket. And when you're done, you put it over in your right pocket. So it's that memory, like, oh yeah, that's what that's for. Or if you are unfortunate and do not have pockets, because some things are not made with pockets, as we women know. Like have a bracelet on one wrist and move it to the other side. Something to cue you in, like,
Yes.
I have not done anything kind today intentionally. Like I've been kind, but I haven't been like, I'm going to smile at this person. I'm going to say hello first.
Yes.
I love it. That sounds great.
I love that.
Well, thank you for being on.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
Thanks for listening. We hope you enjoyed today's dose of hope and holy mischief. A big thank you to Trinity United Methodist Church for sponsoring this podcast and supporting stories that uplift our community. Until next time, keep spreading kindness and making a difference. And remember, God loves you, and so do I.